I'm going to show you very quickly how you can make paint at home. I've got a tea bag and some boiling water in one glass and some old leftover coffee in the other glass. So when the tea's cooled down a bit, I'm going to just test the colours on a piece of paper. So you can let them dry and you can add more coats to change the colour, or you can mix them. I'm going to add some coffee. I'm going to paint some coffee on top of where I'd already painted some tea and see how that looks. If you have any of this food colouring at home, you could also try making that up. You just put a little bit of powder in the bottom of a glass, add some cold water, and then mix it up. And then you can test it out on the same piece of paper to see the kind of colour that you get. Now, the first time I did this, I got a very, very intense colour. So after I'd painted it, I decided I'd add a little bit more water to dilute it a bit, and then paint that again and see how the colour changes with the amount of water that you add. So what I'd like you to do is just make in your sketchbook or on a strip of paper, just test out these colours next to each other and see which shades you think would work nicely. I also made some paint using some ground turmeric. I put that in a glass with some hot water and stirred it to dissolve it. Now, the ground turmeric gave me a really good colour, but I found that it was difficult to make it dissolve properly, and my paint ended up being a little bit grainy, as you'll be able to see in a minute. But then I want you to look at what you've got and think about, if you're going to just create a painting with value, you need to choose one colour and have different values. Once the paint has dried, I want you to stick it in your sketchbook and label it so that we know what you have used for each of those colours. Then you need to think of which colour group you're going to use for your painting. I've chosen to use yellow-brown as my colour group, and so I'm going to be using tea, coffee and turmeric to create different values of the yellow-brown colours in my final still life painting.